Okay, good afternoon to all. Now we have started the input and output characteristics of transistor. After studying the working of transistor, uh, it is most important to know the characteristics of transistor. If you don't know the characteristics of the transistor, you cannot put it into use. So before the transistor is put into the operation, everyone should know its characteristics. So the transistor has two types of characteristics, that is the three types of characteristics: input characteristics, output characteristics, and transfer characteristics. So these are the three types of characteristics that we are interested. But today we have to cover only two characteristics, that is input characteristics and output characteristics. So the circuit required to know the characteristics of a transistor, input as well as output characteristics. This is the experimental arrangement. We can say this is the experimental arrangement, or we can perform the experiment in the laboratory using this circuit. So here a NPN transistor is taken because the arrowhead on the emitter is pointing outwards. Therefore, this is a NPN transistor. So we are looking at the input characteristics of NPN transistor. So these are the IV characteristics, current voltage characteristics. So if I change the base emitter voltage, so what is the effect on the base current? This is called as the input characteristic, because this is the input side. Base current is the input and collector current is the output. Keeping the collector to emitter voltage constant in the first phase, here these are the power supplies connected to the base and to the collector and emitter circuit. For proper operation of the transistor, the base emitter junction must be forward bias and a collector base junction must be reverse bias. So this is done by this potential divider arrangement. This is the rheostat. Using this, if this point is sliding over this rheostat, the voltage applied to the base can be varied. Similarly, the voltage applied to the collector can be varied by this power supply VCC. Now, in order to study the input characteristics, so to study the input characteristics, what we will do? We will change the base emitter voltage in steps. So this is the base emitter voltage. We will change the base emitter voltage in steps, that is 0.1 volt, 0.2 volt, 0.3 volt, and so on. And we will measure the corresponding base current. We will measure the corresponding base current produced in the circuit, keeping collector to emitter voltage constant. So we will fix this voltage, collector to emitter voltage fixed first. Suppose this voltage is fixed at 0.2 volt or 1 volt or 2 volt, whatever may be. You can fix you fix this voltage 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 5 volt, like that. So let us say that it is fixed to 2 volt or 1 volt, and vary the base emitter voltage in steps, and note down the corresponding base current. Note down the corresponding base current and draw a graph of base current versus base to emitter voltage. Base current versus base to emitter voltage. So the nature of the graph will be like this. So this is the graph for VC is equal to 1 volt, and this is the for VC is equal to 2 volt. So if you look at these characteristics very carefully, you will observe that these characteristics are similar to the characteristics of ordinary diode. These characteristics are similar to the characteristics of ordinary diode. So in the ordinary diode also, the current through the diode increases after the 0.7 volt, and this voltage is called as the knee voltage, forward biasing voltage of the diode. So up to the 0.7 volt, Ideally, there is no current through the base. So base current is 0 up to the point 7 volt if the diode is silicon diode. And when this when the input voltage exceeds the knee voltage, the current increases suddenly. So there is an increase in current. This is the linear increase in current shown in this diagram. So the input characteristics of the common emitter configuration of the transistor are similar to the diode characteristics. They are similar to the diode characteristics. So this is the these are the input characteristics. So what is the resistance of this input resistance? The resistance is equal to V is equal to Ri. You know, V is equal to Ri. So take this delta V is equal to Ri. Therefore, R is equal to V upon I. So VB upon IB gives the resistance. So change in base emitter voltage delta VB to the change in current, that is delta IB at constant VC. So that will give the input resistance. So Ri is equal to delta VB upon delta IB at constant VCE. So from this graph, we can calculate the input resistance of the transistor. So these are the input characteristics of the diode. Now the input characteristics of the transistor are not of so much importance. They does not play any important role in the working of the transistor. So we just studied the input characteristics, but the importance of the input characteristics of the transistors are not much more as compared to the output characteristics. So output characteristics of the transistors are very important, and they are very essential for deciding the operating point. So let us see what are the output characteristics of the common emitter configuration. Naturally, we have the characteristics of this transistor in different configurations, but most commonly used configuration is the common emitter configuration. So mostly we will use the transistor in a common emitter configuration, and therefore we are dealing with input and output characteristics in a common emitter configuration. So the output characteristics of the transistor are it is the curve between output voltage and the output current by keeping input voltage constant. Keeping input voltage constant. So output voltage and output current by keeping input voltage constant. That means in this circuit, when we want to study the output characteristics, so for output characteristic, we will fix the value of VB. So VB is kept constant, that is input voltage is kept constant, and this collector to emitter voltage is changed in steps. It is changed in steps, and corresponding collector current is measured. Corresponding collector current is measured. तर आपण याच्यामध्ये काय करणार आहे, आउटपुट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आपल्याला आउटपुट साइडच्या कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स बघायचे आहेत. तर आपण बेस एमिटर व्होल्टेज आपण काय करणार, कॉन्स्टंट ठेवणार. कीप द बेस एमिटर व्होल्टेज कॉन्स्टंट. सो keeping the base emitter voltage constant means I automatically fix the constant base current. Now change the collector to emitter voltage. Change the collector to emitter voltage in steps and note down the corresponding collector current. Corresponding collector current produced. So you can make the table for VC and IC. So take a number of readings and plot the graph of IC versus VC. IC versus VC. So this is IC versus VC. So from this graph, suppose this the base current is 5 microampere. In the first set of experiment, if we keep IB is equal to 5 microampere and plot the graph of IC versus VC, and the nature of the graph will be like this. So initially, as you increase the VC, the IC also increases, but at certain value of VC is beyond 1 volt or 0.7 volt, the IC becomes constant. IC becomes constant. Now change the value of IB. So here the value of IB is 5 microampere. Now the IB is changed by varying the input voltage. Now if it is changed to 10 microampere and do the same experiment, so you will observe that the constant collector current will appear at higher voltage, at higher level. Constant output current will obtain at by increasing the IB, the collector current also increases. The collector current also increases. So increasing the IB, the collector current increases. So you can say that this is the, but the nature of the graph is same. So nature of the graph is same for IB is equal to 5 microampere and IB is equal to 10 microampere. So similarly, plot the graph, the same, take the readings for IB is equal to 15 microampere, IB is equal to 20 microampere, and draw the IC versus VC. So the you will obtain the characteristics as this shown in this figure. So the characteristics. So if you IB increases, so if you go from bottom to the top, so as IB increases, the IC increases. As IB increases, IC increases. I mean, base current वाढला, collector current सुद्धा काय होत वाढत जातोय, बरोबर. So and up to the knee voltage, there is a linear increase in the collector current with VC. So this region follows the Ohm's law. This region follows the Ohm's law. But beyond knee voltage, the collector current is constant. Collector current is constant because ठराविक level नंतर collector current काय होत आहे constant होत आहे, बरोबर. So this is the plot. These are the output characteristics of common emitter configuration. So from these characteristics, what we can conclude, the IC and VC curve is shown in this figure for different values of IB. So as IB increases, the collector current also increases. This is one conclusion we can draw here. And up to the knee voltage, the IC is proportional to VC, but beyond knee voltage, the IC becomes constant. IC becomes constant for particular base current. So these are the output characteristics of common emitter configuration. So what is the knee voltage? आता या आपण इथे आपली perpendicular line टाकली समजा इथून या अशी ही perpendicular line टाकली. So this is the knee voltage, and knee voltage is same for all the experimental values. कारण knee voltage is the forward biasing voltage of the base emitter junction. So it is the voltage at which the output current is becomes constant, or the value of VC up to which collector current changes with VC is called as the knee voltage. So what is the knee voltage? It is the voltage at which output current is becomes constant. So in the graph, see from this O to this point, the IC is changing, but beyond this point, the IC becomes level up and it becomes constant. So it is constant. Similarly, for IB is equal to 10 microampere, up to this point, the IC will change with VC linearly, but beyond certain value of IC knee voltage, it becomes constant. So this is called as the knee voltage. So knee voltage is the voltage at which output current IC becomes constant, or the value of VC up to which collector current IC changes with VC is called knee voltage. So we can say up to this point, the collector current changes with VC up to this point. Beyond that, the collector current is constant. So the point up to which the IC is changing with VC, it is called as knee voltage. It is called as knee voltage. So there are two alternative definitions are given, or the same thing is put up in the alternate language. So what is the knee voltage? It is the voltage at which output current IC becomes constant. The output current जिथून constant होतं त्याला knee voltage म्हणायचं, किंवा the value of VC up to which collector current IC changes. IC and VC याच्यामध्ये there is a linear relationship up to certain value, and that VC is called as the knee voltage, V knee. So the output resistance in this circuit we can calculate. IC upon, it is the ratio of change in collector emitter voltage to the change in base current at constant Vc. So delta Vc upon delta delta Vc upon delta Ic, V is equal to Ri, V is equal to Ri. So R is equal to V upon I, म्हणजेच Vc upon Ic. So delta Vc upon delta Ic, it is the output resistance. इथे थोडंसं चुकलं आहे, इथे चेंज इन बेस करंट, चेंज इन बेस करंट नाही म्हणायला पाहिजे, चेंज इन कलेक्टर करंट, कारण डेल्टा IC is a change in collector current, so it is wrongly placed there. So it is the ratio of change in collector emitter voltage delta Vc to the change in collector current at constant collector to emitter voltage. So input resistance R0 is equal to delta Vc upon delta Ic at constant Vb or constant IV. This gives the output resistance of the transistor. So what is the load line? It is the important point here. तर आपण कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स बघितल्या ट्रान्झिस्टरच्या. सो आता ह्याच्या आहेत ह्या कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, आउटपुट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. मी ऑलरेडी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन आउटपुट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स इन्स्टेड ऑफ input characteristics. So output characteristics are very important to us because आता इथे बघा, इथून 0 पासून 84 पर्यंत समजा 0, 81, 82, 83, these are the base currents. IB is equal to 0, IB is equal to 81 microampere, like that. So these are the characteristics. So we can say that there is a linear relationship between IC and base current and collector to base emitter voltage. So as base current increases, collector current also increases. As base current increases, collector current also increases from this figure. Now what is the load line? So the load line are again classified into two categories: AC load line and DC load line. So it is the line on the output characteristics. It is the line on the output characteristics which gives the values of IC and VC. This gives the value of IC and VC for constant VB. For constant VB. So this line drawn, आपण त्याचे coordinates पण काढणार आहोत आपण. So the load line analysis of transistor means for a given value of collector emitter voltage, for a given value of collector emitter voltage, आपण हे collector emitter voltage आहे, we can find the value of collector current. आता समजा आता ही लोड लाईन आहे, ही लोड लाईन आपण ड्रॉ केली, त्याचे कोऑर्डिनेट्स कसे फिक्स करायचे आपण पुढच्या स्लाइड मध्ये बघूया. नाउ दिस लाईन हॅज ए एक मिनिट. So it is the line on the it is the line drawn on the output characteristics of the transistor. आपण हा आउटपुट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आहे त्याच्यावर आपण ही लाईन ड्रॉ केलेली आहे आणि या लाईनचे कोऑर्डिनेट्स आपण फिक्स करणार आहेत. ए आणि बी चे कोऑर्डिनेट्स आपण फिक्स करणार आहोत. So the load line gives the value of collector emitter voltage. It gives the value of collector emitter voltage and we can find the value of collector current. आता समजा आम्ही कुठेही एक पॉइंट कन्सिडर केला, समजा मी या पॉइंटला आलो तर या पॉइंटला समजा हे VC आहे, तर IC किती मिळू शकतो मला, तर IC इथे मिळेल, बरोबर. सो this gives the value of collector emitter voltage and we can find the value of collector current. जर आपल्याला collector emitter voltage माहित असेल तर we can find out the collector current from this graph. म्हणजे आपण एक अशी लाईन ड्रॉ करूया, the line is drawn on the output characteristics such that this line gives the values of collector current. This gives the value of collector current for एनी व्हॅल्यू ऑफ कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज. कुठलेही एमिटर कलेक्टर व्होल्टेज जो तुम्ही बघा त्या कलेक्टर एमिटर व्होल्टेजला आपल्याला कलेक्टर करंट किती मिळेल, दिस गिव्स द लोड लाईन. So this is the circuit required to draw the load line. So there are two types of load lines, AC load line and DC load line. We are considering here only a DC load line. So DC load line is considered here. So this is the circuit arrangement required to draw the. आता लक्षात आलं तुमचं, ह्या जे लाल ग्राफ काढलेला आहे आपण, हा आउटपुट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आहेत. आणि या आउटपुट कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ही जी आपण AB लाईन काढलेली आहे, या AB लाईनला आपण म्हणतो लोड लाईन. इट इज कॉल्ड एज द लोड लाईन. आणि याचे जे कोऑर्डिनेट्स आहेत म्हणजे ए चे कोऑर्डिनेट्स आणि बी चे कोऑर्डिनेट्स आपण या सर्किटवरून आपण काढू शकतो की मॅक्झिमम व्हॅल्यू कलेक्टर मॅक्झिमम व्हॅल्यू ऑफ कलेक्टर एमिटर व्होल्टेज किती असू शकते आणि मॅक्झिमम व्हॅल्यू ऑफ कलेक्टर करंट किती असू शकतं, दॅट कॅन बी डिटरमाइंड. समजा आपण आता हा ए पॉइंट, इफ यू कन्सिडर दिस ए पॉइंट, आता ए पॉइंट इज द कलेक्टर डिएमीटर व्होल्टेज आपण कन्सिडर केलं की समजा ए पॉइंटला काहीतरी कलेक्टर डिएमीटर व्होल्टेज मॅक्झिमम आहे, बरोबर. सो ऍट दॅट टाइम कलेक्टर करंट इज 0. बघा इथे कलेक्टर करंट काय दाखवतोय, 0. सो दॅट मीन्स वेन द कलेक्टर करंट इज 0, द कलेक्टर एमिटर व्होल्टेज इज मॅक्झिमम. येते लक्षात. वेन कलेक्टर करंट इज 0, बघा हा या ए पॉइंट कडे लक्ष द्या. ए पॉइंट काय एक VC आणि IC किती आहे, 0. IC त्यावेळेला किती आहे, 0. म्हणजे दिस इज द मॅक्झिमम VC, दिस इज द मॅक्झिमम VC, बरोबर. आणि त्या मॅक्झिमम VC केव्हा मिळतो आपल्याला, वेन द कलेक्टर करंट इज 0, वेन द कलेक्टर करंट इज 0. आणि बी या पॉइंटला काय कलेक्टर करंट मॅक्झिमम आहे, कलेक्टर करंट इज मॅक्झिमम. आणि त्यावेळेला कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज किती आहे, 0. कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज किती आहे, 0. So this B point gives the maximum collector current. This gives the maximum collector current. But the maximum collector current is possible only when collector emitter voltage is 0. Collector emitter voltage is 0. So the collector emitter voltage varies from 0 to maximum. Similarly, the collector current also varies from 0 to maximum. This gives the point B gives the maximum value of collector current and point A gives the maximum value of collector to emitter voltage when no signal is applied. When no signal is applied. म्हणून याला आपण DC load line म्हणतो. So DC load line म्हणजे काय? So it is the line drawn on the output characteristics of the transistor when no signal is applied. When no signal is applied. आपण signal apply केलेला नाही, only there exists a DC conditions exist in the circuit. So see this circuit here. We want to find out the coordinates of A and coordinates of B. That is the maximum value of collector to emitter voltage and maximum value of collector current. So using this circuit, we can find out the coordinates of A and B. See, slope of this line will be negative. This is the because it is slanting in the back direction, so its slope is negative. Its slope will not be positive, its slope is negative. That is not important here. So let us see. See in the circuit. So this is the resistance and this is the VCC applied. So this VCC applied voltage VCC, it is utilized in it is the collector to emitter voltage plus voltage drop across this RC. Voltage drop across या output circuit मध्ये बघा, collector आणि emitter circuit मध्ये बघा. So this is according to the Kirchhoff's voltage law, applied voltage must be is equal to the total potential drop in the circuit. मग applied voltage किती आहे, VCC आहे. आणि या सर्किट मध्ये voltage drop किती आहे, collector to emitter मध्ये across voltage VC आहे आणि या resistance च्या across voltage IC into RC. So VCC, so this is VCC is equal to VC plus IC RC. नाव ह्या इक्वेशन आपण VC इज इक्वल टू ह्या टर्म फक्त रिअरेंज केले आपण VCC मायनस IC RC. आता VCC आणि RC, आता याच्यामध्ये VCC जो आहे तो आपण सप्लाय व्होल्टेजला कनेक्ट केलेला आहे, बाहेरचा सप्लाय व्होल्टेज तो काय कॉन्स्टंट आहे बरोबर. नंतर RC म्हणजे रेजिस्टन्स इन द कलेक्टर आर्म, तो पण कॉन्स्टंट आहे बरोबर. म्हणजे above shows that VCC and RC are the constant value and it is the first degree equation which is represented by a straight line on the output characteristic. आता हे जे इक्वेशन आहे हे तुम्हाला इक्वेशन ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाईन माहिती आहे, y is equal to mx plus c. सो y is equal to mx plus c म्हणजे आता इथे हा y म्हणजे VC आहे आणि mx plus c म्हणजे आता mx म्हणजे तुमचा IC आहे आणि mx plus c mx म्हणजे RC is the m आणि IC is the x आणि प्लस c म्हणजे हा VCC is constant आहे बरोबर. So this the equation of straight line is y is equal to mx plus c, but here the equation is y is equal to minus mx plus c. Y is equal to minus mx plus c. So minus sign appears here, so it indicates that the slope of the line is negative. It indicates that the slope of the line is negative because this RC is the slope. So the above equation shows that VC and RC are the constant values. So how VCC and IC RC is constant, and it is the first degree equation which is represented by the straight line on the output characteristic. This load line is known as a DC load line. आता हे जे equation आहे, this is the equation of load line. VC is equal to, this is the equation of load line. VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC. बरोबर. याला म्हणायचं equation of load line, DC load line. We are not dealing with the AC load line. So this load line is known as the DC load line. The input characteristics determine the locus of VC and IC for given value of RC. आता या दोन पॉइंट्स म्हणजे ही जी लाईन आहे या लाईनवरून आपल्याला काय कळता येतं, कुठल्याही कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेजला आपल्याला कलेक्टर करंट आपल्याला डिटरमाइन करता येतं किंवा कुठल्याही कलेक्टर करंटला आपल्याला कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज डिटरमाइन करता येतं. तर जर आपल्याला हा ग्राफ आपल्याला माहित असेल तर आपण कुठलाही पॉइंट पिकअप करून त्या पॉइंटला कलेक्टर करंट किती असेल आणि कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज किती असेल आपण डिटरमाइन करू शकतो. So the above equation shows that VC and RC are the constant value and it is the first degree equation. आता हे काय आहे first degree equation, y is equal to mx plus c सारखं. म्हणून याला is the equation of straight line on the output characteristics. The input characteristics is used to determine the locus of VC and IC point for the given value of RC. The end points of the lines are located elsewhere. तर आपल्याला मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की आपल्याला हे एंड पॉइंट्स ए आणि बी हे दोन पॉइंट्स आपल्याला काढायचे आहेत बरोबर. हे दोन पॉइंट्स काढण्यासाठी आपण पहिल्यांदा आपण द कलेक्टर एमिटर व्होल्टेज काढूया इज मॅक्सिमम. आता कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज मॅक्सिमम केव्हा असेल, वेन द कलेक्टर करंट IC इज इक्वल टू 0 बरोबर. म्हणजे IC इज इक्वल टू 0 जर तुम्ही पुट केला तर कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज मॅक्सिमम मिळेल तुम्हाला. मग कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज इज इक्वल टू VCC मायनस IC 0 इंटू RC म्हणजे हा 0 होऊन जाईल बरोबर. म्हणजे VC इज इक्वल टू VCC, VC इज इक्वल टू VCC म्हणजे मॅक्झिमम कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज आपल्याला किती मिळू शकतं तर अप्लाइड व्होल्टेज VCC इतकं. बट दिस इज पॉसिबल वेन कलेक्टर करंट इज 0. कलेक्टर करंट इज 0 म्हणजे ज्यावेळेला कलेक्टर करंट 0 असेल त्यावेळेला आपल्याला कलेक्टर टू एमिटर व्होल्टेज काय मिळेल, मॅक्झिमम मिळेल अँड इट इज इक्वल टू द सप्लाय व्होल्टेज किंवा अप्लाइड व्होल्टेज VCC. सो VC इज इक्वल टू VCC. म्हणून द फर्स्ट पॉइंट ए इज इक्वल टू VCC ऑन द कलेक्टर एमिटर व्होल्टेज ऍक्सिस. तर मग ए पॉइंटचे कोऑर्डिनेट्स काय आले, ए पॉइंटचे कोऑर्डिनेट्स काय येतील, मग हा तुमचा एक्स ऍक्सिस आहे म्हणजे हा VCC आणि वाय ऍक्सिस म्हणजे IC इज इक्वल टू 0 म्हणजे VCC, 0 हे झाले याचे कोऑर्डिनेट्स ए चे कोऑर्डिनेट्स काय आले VCC, 0 कारण मॅक्सिमम व्हॅल्यू इज ऑफ VC इज VCC. ठीक आहे. नंतर आता आपण मॅक्सिमम व्हॅल्यू ऑफ कलेक्टर करंट काढूया. द कलेक्टर करंट IC बिकम्स मॅक्सिमम व्हेन द कलेक्टर एमिटर व्होल्टेज VC इज इक्वल टू 0. म्हणजे आता आपल्याला या इक्वेशन मध्ये VC इज इक्वल टू 0 सबस्टिट्यूट करा. VC इज इक्वल टू आपण जर 0 सबस्टिट्यूट केला तर VCC मायनस IC RC इज इक्वल टू काय मिळाला 0 बरोबर. 0 म्हणजे VCC मायनस IC RC इज इक्वल टू 0. म्हणजेच IC इज इक्वल टू हा VCC कडे घ्या, IC इज इक्वल टू VCC अपॉन RC. आता हा IC ही काय झाली, मॅक्झिमम व्हॅल्यू ऑफ कलेक्टर करंट, and maximum value of collector current is possible when VC is equal to 0. So in this graph, when VC is equal to 0, this is the maximum value of collector current, and it is VCC upon RC. So coordinates of this point, आता हा याचा VC किती 0, जे 0, VCC upon RC. These are the coordinates of point B. So maximum collector current is VCC upon RC, and a maximum collector to emitter voltage is equal to VCC. So joining these 2 points, we will get the straight line, and this straight line is called as the DC load line. So for any value of collector to emitter voltage, we can determine the collector current. For any value of collector current, we can determine the corresponding collector to emitter voltage. So this is all about the characteristics of transistor and DC load line. So if you have any doubt or if you have any questions, you can raise your hands or you can ask me directly by unmuting your mic. There is only one point left in this unit, that is the operating point. We will cover it in tomorrow's lecture. So tomorrow the lecture will continue at 4:10 p.m. If I forget to put a link in the WhatsApp group, remember that every day we will have a lecture at 4